This is the BMW XM. It's a car which you either love or absolutely despise. What do I think? Sorry people, but oh yes, I love it. I see this car as a cool statement. This car demonstrates that you don't need a conventional boxy design to experience outright luxury and performance. This is the BMW XM 50e, and that 50e is important. It's a plug-in hybrid with the legendary B58 engine. The only problem this car will cause you is the fact that every time you pass people, they're going to look at you in disgust because they cannot stand the design. But who cares? This is the first standalone M model since the M1. So let's see what it's like. I'm Max Haftavani. Welcome to Driven Plus. One thing which I struggle to understand about the XM is why it exists. Why did it need to be built? I don't understand it, because if you want a BMW SUV, you just buy an X5 or X7. Why this? Normally, I would then go on to explain why this does exist in this sentence, but I'm still struggling to understand. So I'll just tell you why this does exist according to BMW, because they wanted to create a halo SUV which competes in ultra luxury and performance. And I suppose it kind of does. Okay then, if that's the case then BMW, but what about the X5M and X7 M60i? Well, they're both fantastic cars, but thinking of it, they're both only good at one thing. The X5M kind of scratches my head a little bit because it's a very fast car and it's a very capable car, but I'd just rather go and buy an M5 because the X5M has a harsh ride. It's a cool car, don't get me wrong. And then on the other hand, you've got the X7 M60i, comes with a very powerful engine, but it's no M car. That's a great daily driver. So I see this as a kind of greatest hits album between the X5M and the X7 M60i. And what I mean by that is it's got the power from the X5M, but it's also got the daily usability from the X7. It's fantastic. You put your foot down, makes a nice noise. Yes, it's not as hard hitting as the X5M because this is the 50e model, but you can get this with a 4.4 litre twin turbocharged V8 with hybrid technology too, which is of course the label red, or you can get the one in the middle, I think, which is just called the regular XM. So you've got a load of choices, but let me explain more details about this engine because it's very interesting. Under the bonnet of this particular XM sits a 3 litre straight 6 turbocharged engine, better known as the B58. Hang on a minute there guys, BMW classes this as a BMW M car, so therefore this must be the first time a B58 has been used in an M car. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Oh yes, the B58 just gained more legendary status. But look how low down this engine is mounted into this engine bay. Definitely going to help cornering capabilities and just the general feel of the car. We'll find out on the road very soon because it's a heavy car, 2.6 tons. Anyway, this engine is also paired to a 25.7 kilowatt-hour battery, and therefore it produces 476 horsepower and 700 newton meters of torque. Now this is the entry-level XM, it's called the 50e, but you can also get this with a 4.4 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine, but they're silly money. Get this instead. BMW say it will do a 0 to 60 time of 5.1 seconds. So let's find out. Now the XM does have launch control. It would be a bit disappointing if it didn't, considering it is an M car. Anyway, on your screen now are the stats and figures on this car, so pause your screen if you'd like to look into them. Now to put this in launch control, we've got to have the gearbox in manual mode and the traction control switched all the way off. So DSC off, please. There we go, and it should now engage launch control. BMW say 5.1 seconds. Well, let's find out. Oh, this is quick. Oh, 4.4 seconds, there you go. Why do you lie, BMW? Why do you lie? A 2.6 ton big SUV with just shy of 500 horsepower doing it 4.4 seconds to 60 is good going, and this thing just shot off. I do think there is better in it, so I think let's go for one more run because it's fun to launch a car like this, isn't it? Okay, here's run 2. It was quick. 4.5 seconds. Well, there you go. Over and over again, it's quicker than what BMW says by more than half a second. Anyway, that's what this car stacks up against. And let's go back to the review. Moving to the interior of the XM, and it's got a very similar layout to the X7. Now, regardless of what you might think of the exterior design of this car, your opinion is going to change as soon as you sit inside, because it's by far the most luxurious M car I've ever sat in. You know, when you just sit in a car sometimes and it just feels solid, it feels well put together. One word for this cabin: quality. And the seats, oh, they're lovely. There's absolutely no creaks going on. It's just so solid in here. Moving to the infotainment screen, that's 14.9 inches. That's going to run Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Digital driver's display, that's 12.3 inches. I mean, these two screens here, iDrive 8.5, is what you get on most new BMWs now, so that's not specific to the XM. However, what is your different driver modes, such as the M mode. So you've got road and sport. You get a lovely heads-up display there, so let's just turn the car on. You've got this lovely noise. Ooh, like a bass coming through the Harman Kardon sound system. Oh yes, and I like this red interior. I've got to say, split opening glove box, which is very nice, and there's all this carbon fibre matte effect, which I'm actually quite a fan of. I'm happy it's satin carbon fibre, and there's leather everywhere too. Ooh, I tell you what, it's a lovely driving position. It feels nice and big and snug in a way. It's comfort. It doesn't feel like you know, when you sit in a Range Rover and you kind of got a nice open view, whereas this is a bit more enclosed. It's quite nice. Moving to the headline, and this is kind of very different. Never seen this before. This is a star of the show for this car, and this is Alcantara 3D prism effect, and it's kind of got this ambient lighting going across, so it's you kind of get some cool shapes coming off that. One bad point about that is the fact that you get hardly any natural light coming into the cabin, so therefore the cabin does feel quite dark in here because you've got no sunroof. But it depends what you want. If you want exclusivity and to feel a bit private, perfect car. But if you want a car which lets a bit more natural light in, yes, go buy something else. Buy an X7 with a big panoramic sunroof. But it's a lovely place to be. Where's your cup holders and all your tech? Well, you've got heated and cooled cup holders, 12-volt socket there, USB, where's your USB-C sockets? There in the center console, and internal storage units. Glove box is huge, and your door bins are absolutely huge as well. What else more can I say? It's a beautiful cabin. Let's check out the rear seats. Now, the main experience of the XM is in the back here. Who would have thought in 2025 a car journalist is telling you the best experience of a BMW M car is in the rear seats? Anyway, welcome to what BMW call the M Lounge, and I have to say, this might be the most comfortable rear seats I've ever sat in. They're like sofa-like. It kind of wraps around you. It's lovely, and you get your own XM pillows. How fancy is that? And you can just, oh, the reason I've got the door open is the fact that I'm trying to get as much natural light in as possible. But if I was just to close this for a minute, yeah, it does go really dark in here, doesn't it? But, oh God, leg space is fantastic, really good. You can really stretch your legs out there. And on the rear seat here, you've got your USB-C socket, your rear heated seats, so that's very good too. Armrest is in a good position, and that's it really, isn't it? You're here for the experience, to be driven around in outright luxury, and I suppose at the same time, performance. Coming to the rear of this car, and no matter what angle you look at it from, it looks unique, doesn't it? I'll put it that way. And if I was to watch a film from the 80s or 90s and it was set in 2030 or 40, this is the type of car I'd see in that film. I'm not so sure from the rear, but at the same point, I actually quite like it. Yeah, it's just, it messes with your brain, this car. I like the horizontal lights. Not so sure on the position of the XM badge, but I suppose where else can they put it? It's a very clean design too. BMW badges are put here on the top quarters of the rear glass, which is obviously pays homage to the original M1, and the vertical exhaust pipes. They remind me of a Lexus ISF. Right, let's look into the boot. Let's see how much this gives you. Opens with a click of a button, which what you'd expect for the price you're paying for one of these, and quite a good size actually, 527 litres. But anyway, let's hear what that B58 engine sounds like. So prices of the XM in the UK starts at around £112,000. That's for the entry level model, which is this one right here, the 50E. And then if you want the 4.4 litre top of the range label red model, you're looking at £150,000 plus. Do I think it's worth its price? Well, they're always really hard questions to answer if I can't physically afford one myself. But thinking of it, what other SUVs have I driven? I've driven a Range Rover, and this is Range Rover money, isn't it? You kind of have to compare this to the P550E, which again comes with a 3 litre hybrid, which is the exact same layout as this. They both go about their business in similar ways, but they look completely different. So it depends. If you want to stand out, you go for the XM, but if you want something which is less inconspicuous, you of course go for the Range Rover. I mean, at the end of the day, a Range Rover is a Range Rover. You struggle to beat them, but this is doing a good job so far. It's worth its money in a sense that you want something pretty exclusive, but then again, it still offers you the luxury touches and the BMW M features. It's actually quite a nice package. I will admit, BMW, I do like what you've done here a lot. And this thing is a heavy vehicle, and that doesn't surprise me because this thing is big, ladies and gentlemen. It weighs in at 2.6 tons, and it's actually quite lovely to drive. It doesn't feel 2.6 tons of weight. So let's see how that affects handling characteristics. Let's put the gearbox in manual mode. Also, we've got that lovely ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, which is beautiful. So pickup is very good. Oh, how do they do it? Oh, the brakes are good too. Makes quite a nice noise, of course, from that turbocharged straight six engine. It's always going to make a nice tone from BMW, but the way you can just shift this weight, considering you are sat high up for an SUV as well, is incredible. Definitely an M car in the way it shifts its weight for an SUV. Obviously there's a big difference between an M car, well, like a saloon or coupe M car, but when you come into the M car SUVs, they handle really well, and it's the same case with this. The engine, like all B58s, it's lovely. It picks up really nicely. And the good thing is about the XM, because it is hybrid and it's a big luxury vehicle, what I do like about these cars is when you take it out of sport, right, and just put it in electric mode if we can. There we go. And this is what it's all about. Being chauffeured around, being driven around in outright luxury. I have to say, right, I do quite like these big hybrid vehicles. I don't like the big electric ones. I like hybrid because it gives you the best of both worlds. And this on electric only mode will give you a range of 50 to 55 miles ish, and then it will drive in electric mode up to speeds of 87 miles per hour. It's fantastic, gives you the best of both worlds. I like it. So would I buy this, the 50E with the 3 litre hybrid setup, or the V8 4.4 litre thing? Well, I haven't been driving this car today and thinking, oh, it needs way more horsepower. It doesn't. This is fast enough until you get in the label red one and put your foot down. You think, oh yeah, I need all this. No, this is a nice package. I like it. And the good thing is about the 50E is the fact that it's cheaper. Makes more sense. It's not going to be as heavy on fuel as the V8. And the B58 is an absolute legendary engine. So what don't I like about this car, and what can I recommend you if you're also looking at a Range Rover or Bentayga? One thing I don't like about this car is how dark it gets in here. That's thanks to the fact that it's got no panoramic sunroof. The rear tints are really, really dark. And if you're in the market for either one of these or Range Rover or Bentayga, this drives really nice, but it struggles to beat the ride of a Range Rover. But therefore you come back to kind of the BMW Range Rover debate. BMWs always have that sportier drive over the Range Rover. So if you value more of a dynamic drive and a better handling car, you buy this. But if you want something with way more outright luxury, you know what to buy, everyone. So what's your thoughts on the BMW XM? Now I understand everyone kind of has strong opinions on this car, but take the design out of the equation, drive one, and you can understand what BMW have achieved with this car. It's brilliant, it really is. But I also understand, right, one big thing about buying a car and having that car ownership is the way it looks. You have to love it, and that's one problem about the XM. You really do. I love it, I'd see myself in one, but I'm not so sure if I could live with it on a day-to-day basis. I'd have to really understand, and I'd have to have one for a bit to see if I get bored of the design, but I don't think I would. I quite like it. But I'd like to say a massive thanks to Will for letting me get a video on this fantastic beast today. So leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you all very soon for another Driven Plus video. Thanks guys, see you soon.